Hi, I'm Ade, and I'm a co-founder at Sumtyme. We are a research lab building the next generation of machine intelligence. We developed the first intelligence layer for the financial markets that identifies risk at the point of inception, moving the markets from reactive panic to proactive decision-making. The reason this matters is the global financial system is currently built on a foundation of reaction. In March 2020, the Federal Reserve was forced to commit 2.2 trillion in just 72 hours, a reactive move to help prevent the system from collapsing. By the time the Fed acted, the damage was already done. The market had declined 30%, and global equities had lost 24 trillion in just 40 days. These are the massive costs of having financial blind spots. To eliminate the blind spots, we developed the first true intelligence layer, a microscope for systemic risk that monitors the global financial system as a single interconnected information network. While the current system relies on lagging indicators and reactive interventions after the fact, we provide the intelligence that identifies structural change at the point of inception for any publicly traded asset. Our goal is simple: to move the entire industry from reactive panic to proactive management. We serve three primary engines of the financial world. For central banks, we provide an autonomous monitor for monetary policy. For commercial banks, we act as a systemic health monitor. And for hedge funds, we deliver true information advantage in constantly moving markets. But building an intelligence layer for the global markets requires more than just a theory. It requires a rigorous, large-scale validation. To that end, we'd like to thank our sandbox partner Massive, who provide the historical and live market data necessary to validate our framework. As you can see from the visual here, the result of this collaboration is transformative. A massive 99% reduction in drawdowns across multiple market periods. To prove these results aren't random chance, we stress tested our framework against the most catastrophic shocks of this century: the 2008 financial crisis and the 2020 pandemic. We specifically targeted worst-case scenarios across diverse sectors, including home building and banking in 2008 to energy and hospitality in 2020. The drawdown saved column tells a story. We effectively eliminate the tail risk that collapses portfolios. What makes these results remarkable is the methodology. Unlike traditional machine learning, we achieve this with no reliance on training data, no retraining, no sentiment analysis, and no context graphs. This isn't a model that needs to learn what a crash looks like. It's a new form of intelligence, validated through our partnership with Massive. This evidence proves that even the most severe financial declines can be managed. With the right intelligence, a 90% loss is not a surprise, it's avoidable. We spoke to a fund with hospitality exposure during early 2020. While the broader market peaked on February 19th, our framework generated a signal on January 17th, providing a full month of lead time before the turn. Using high-frequency data, we identified the inception of risk at the 1-second level, tracking its evolution as it scaled into a systemic collapse. The client's existing model failed, spiking only after MGM had already collapsed 60%. This delay forced a reactive liquidation and triggered massive investor withdrawals. We achieved this without knowledge of the pandemic. We simply identified the structural breakdown in the data as it happened. The industry dismisses market crashes as black swans, unpredictable disasters no one could have seen coming. Our framework proves these are actually white swans at inception. They only become black when the industry ignores the early signals. By monitoring the global system in real time, we identify the exact bridge where micro fluctuation scales into a systemic threat. While the broader market panics, our intelligence has already been tracking the event's evolution for weeks. A black swan is simply a white swan that was missed. Having validated our framework with Massive in Q1, we are now conducting private technical demos with institutional risk teams. These deep dives demonstrate how we provide an effective challenge against model failures that crippled portfolios during 2008 and COVID-19. In the second half of this year, we moved to parallel runs with our partners, benchmarking our inception signals directly against the gold standard for market risk, being expected shortfall. This path scales to a 2027 global deployment across London, Tokyo, and US. We are seeking partners to join this network. We want to speak to firms ready to move beyond reactive management and identify the next white swan at its point of inception. We've reached a turning point. For decades, the industry has accepted massive crashes as unpredictable. But our insights prove these events have an inception point and they can be managed. Our framework meets the auditor's trifecta. It is explainable, auditable, and traceable. So I'll leave you with this. If a black swan is now a manageable event via a real-time API, what is the cost of remaining blind to it? We provide the evidence needed to stop trillion-dollar collapses before they start. If you're ready to move from reactive panic to proactive decisions, let's talk. Thank you.